Nice bit of shade there. G'day brothers and the occasional sister. We're going to park this beast once we get to the top and have a yarn. Big quail on the driveway. Home sweet home. What are you guys doing up there? Who's that in the old garage? Some ducks? Oh, some ducks have gone on the shed. Baby ducks. That's a silly place to go. Yeah, oh, we can stay in there. Mum's taking them there. What are you doing in there, eh? Yeah, you're going to help me clean it out? Probably not. It's duck city around here. Wild ducks, domestic ducks. Anyway, I wanted to just catch up with you guys and address the elephant in the room. There are quite a few comments in my last video about women and my thoughts on men having women in their lives and women having men in their lives, and what women like and what men like and what we find attractive with each other. And I got called a chauvinist, I got called shallow, I got called all the things that are associated with toxic masculinity, and that's absolutely fine too. But I did want to talk about some of the science behind why I do still believe and stand by what I said, that for the majority of women, they want a man who's financially stable and confident and an alpha male that's going to provide and look after. And the majority of men want a woman for her beauty, how she retains her elegance and grace and puts food on the table and gives intimacy to a man. Really important, the intimacy, sex and intimacy, really important. And why that is the case, and why that we have evolved that way, and why, although a lot of people have been shot down for saying what I'm saying, why it's actually a truth. And why women don't want to admit that they want a man who's financially stable. And those little baby ducks are slowly coming out of the garage. I'll turn around and show you what it looks like, because it's quite cute. Here goes the first one now, popping out of the grass. Here they come, there's Mum, making a getaway. They came and hid in the garage when they saw me come home in the mountain bike. They're wild ducks. They're at the flapper stage now, and they're going to make it probably. She started off with 12, now she's got 4. The bukikos, wild cats, and hawks predated on them. Whoops, sorry about that. I can stand anyway. All too often we hear of the story of the couple that were together for 40 years sometimes, or even longer. A long time, and he was well suited to her, and they were good, and they were known as a team. And suddenly he's run off with a younger, more attractive model, and she's left thinking, what the hell went wrong? I was loyal, I did everything, we had children together, I provided everything. What happened? What went wrong? Well, what went wrong was nature. Man has got this, it's hardwired to reproduce in his own genes. And a lot of these guys that are 50 that end up getting these younger women, they find themselves being dads second time in a row. And I don't know that I'd want to be that. In fact, I know I wouldn't want to be that. I had my years being a dad. But that's what happens, because they meet this younger woman and she wants, her biological clock's ticking, she's beautiful, she wants to have lots of sex, he loves that bit, but then he's also got to have the bit where he's having her children. And the wife goes off, that's been dropped like a hot spud, for all her loyalty and everything, think, what the hell went wrong in my world? And she's trying to put her life back together again. But after a while, you know what, she gets strong. She goes, well, fuck you. And she gets with her female friends and they talk and they network and hash it out, and she eventually puts it in a place that's good in her mind and moves forward with her life and has quite a good life without him, actually. And she probably looks back after a few years and goes, well, it was actually a blessing in disguise. Sometimes, not always. I'm just speaking from stories I know from my own existence on this planet with friends of mine. Women are more robust and stronger than men emotionally on the whole, because they set up those networks with their friends. And you see it so many times, and I hate to say this, but often when an older woman's partner dies, quite often she blooms. She's been looking after him, he's got complacent. Women live longer than us by about 5 years, so he's passed away, and it's quite common that a man passed away before the woman because our lifespans are shorter because we're men and we do more stupid ass things and we don't last as long. And she gets on with her life. She's got her girlfriends and they go off and they have cake and tea and have a good laugh about their men. They're probably joking about us, and that's bloody good. Have their coffees, and they gather every Tuesday or every Wednesday for a catch up, and they laugh and they have fun and they have good lives. And they're actually better off without us when we're dead quite often. They might feel a bit guilty for feeling good about their partners dying because they realise, actually I feel better, my life's actually better. It happens. And then they wrestle with their guilt for a while and they move forward. This actually happens. But women are hardwired to want money, even if they don't admit it, and even if they don't actually think it in their mind out loud. And I'll tell you why they're hardwired. Over the thousands and even millions of years that we human beings have evolved, we have evolved in such a way that we've become so intelligent and so far evolved as an animal compared to the other animals and the other primates. We're the only primate that doesn't put a hand to the ground. All the other primates do. We became bipedal, and when we became bipedal and started to stand upright rather than leaning down, we didn't move quite so in the same way. We weren't climbing trees the same. We weren't doing so much, and consequently we had to, the woman couldn't carry the baby for as long. Like ideally for our evolution, we should be carrying, or a woman should be carrying the baby in her womb for about 2 years, like all the other. I mean, how long is an elephant gestation period for? These are the more intelligent animals. We have rapidly sped up the time. So when the baby is born, it is born absolutely helpless. You compare a baby wild pig compared to a baby human being. Well, these ducklings down here, check these guys out. These guys here, they are running and they're probably only like 6 weeks old. Can you imagine a human doing that? They're finding food and they're getting away from other predators at this young age. Consequently, their dad doesn't have to be around to protect them because they can protect themselves. A human being, on the other hand, the mother has to be with that baby all the time for at least the first 3 years, 2 or 3 years, and even longer really. But for it to survive, and if it was in the wild, she would have to be with it for at least the first 2.5 years, and she can't go off and scavenge or hunt or pick fruit, forage, fish. She can't do any of those things, but she's got to eat and she's got to feed a baby. She's got to feed herself so she can breastfeed a baby, and then she's got to feed the baby once she weans it. But she can't do that when she's looking after it. She relies on a male partner or even a group around her to provide her. Now, it's hardwired into us men to look after her, to go out and hunt and gather and pick the beans and go out and fish and bring it back and give her that food. We're hardwired for that, and she's hardwired to receive that and rely on us to do that. She would not mate with a man who had only one leg and was half blind and couldn't hunt very well. She wouldn't mate with a man that was starving himself and hopeless at it. She would mate with the strongest and most able-bodied to provide for her. All that DNA is hardwired into women, and today it's still just as much there as it was back then, although we've got layers of so-called social standing and things that are acceptable. And women today are in a different situation. The government will look after them if they have a child, if the man disappeared. I think it's called the DPB, or at least used to be called that. There's other things in place in some countries, but not all countries. But the hard wiring is still there to have a man who's either got wealth or is going to be able to create wealth. He's got the potential to get wealth. He's got to have that there for her to be attracted to him on a level. When I met Julie down at the beach when I was fishing, she admitted to me later, when we got to know each other after a while, she's a little bit older than me, she said, if you had been broke and had no money, I wouldn't have wanted to carry on dating you. And she looked at my last video and she said, I totally agree. She said, a woman doesn't want to have some old, if a guy's 60 and he still hasn't got himself sorted, he's never going to, and you don't want that sort of a man hanging off your apron strings, having to support him. You want to share things with equally. And a lot of women think that way, and respect to those women, because they respect themselves enough to not lower their standard and get somebody who's the same financial level or similar. So, call me chauvinistic, call me shallow, but I stand by what I said, based on what I've talked about. There's a bit of a double standard going on too, because I said that I don't like big women, and back in the comment section, of course, I got told I was shallow, and one woman came back and said, I don't like skinny men. Well, I'm a skinny man. I mean, look at me, I'm skinny. I'm skinny. I've always been skinny. Well, that's not true, actually. I used to have a weight problem when I used to eat too much. I got fat, actually, so I've been skinny and fat, but I've got a skinny build, put it that way. And I didn't use the word I don't like fat woman. I said I don't like large. Yet, it seems okay to say I don't like skinny men. If I said I don't like fat woman, that sounds pretty harsh, doesn't it? But I didn't say that. But it's okay for a woman to say I don't like skinny men. There seems to be a double standard there, if you know what I mean. Incidentally, I wasn't offended by the skinny comment. I think it's a fair comment. Good on you if you don't. I can understand you not liking skinny men. There's some women like them skinny, some like them tall, some like them short, some like them big bodybuilders, some like them athletic fit, some like them slim like me. It's up to each person's preference, but on the whole, I personally don't like large women, just for me, and maybe it's because I am a skinny man. I want someone who's sort of same size as me, and I can totally get it if a woman doesn't like a skinny man too. That's alright. But I don't think we need to make it into a personal insulting thing, because someone doesn't like you because of how you are, that's something that's their problem, not yours, so you don't have to worry about it. Anyway, I've got to go to a shower and wash up and then go and do... Actually, I'm not going to have a shower. I'm going to go put my work clothes on and keep going while there's some day left, and then I'll have to wash at the end of the day, because I do smell a bit sweaty. I've just done a good cycle. Go steady, brothers, and the occasional sister. I hope you enjoyed this yak. And if you don't agree with me, that's okay. Jump in the comment section and tell me why. I'm happy to hear your 2 cents worth. And as always, these are only my views, not necessarily correct, only the way I see it. And this is a channel for brothers, for sharing ideas. If a brother's got a whole different slant of view on this, or a sister for that matter, and share it below, and let's see what you're going to say. I might give these ducks something to eat, because they're all hanging around sounding like they're hungry. Listen to them. Oh, it's bit of a racket going on the farm here. We've got this guy here is telling the wild ones, what are you guys doing here? They're doing a sort of a duck dance, and the wee ones are like hanging around. The wee ones are actually pretty brave. They're getting amongst it all. They're in the shade of old Black Betty. There's Mum in the background. And here we've got the Muscovy on the right, and we've got the Peking on the left. Bit of battle off, and the wee ones underneath. Oh yeah, she's all go here. If you're local and you want to buy some ducks, I'm starting to sell those Pekins now. $30 a duck, I think it's fair. They're mature, ready for the pot, or ready for making more ducks. They're a great breed, these guys. They're from Grossier's turkeys down south, and I bred some myself, and they are in good shape. Yeah. Okay, go steady. See ya.